my name is Ziyad Habash. I am 23. I'm from the United States. And I'll be here for 2 years teaching English with Booster Franny, Pak Rido, and Pak Gunter, who's in the back with the camera. And we are just working on getting this. Okay, this is fine. Can we move to second slide, please? Okay, so I think Rita will help me out a little bit. Do you think we need to or no? Okay. And my presentation is going to be called Teaching English for Fluency, or what was it? Strategy for Teaching English. Strategy for Teaching English for Fluency. And so I was never a teacher before I came to Indonesia. I graduated last year from university, and thank you, it's very nice. I graduated last year from university in America, so what I can help with is giving advice on how to improve fluency. Because many of the teachers in here, you know English grammar much better than I do. Because we never studied it. We just know it. We know it from when we were born. In our English classes, we would read books and write papers on them. But we never studied past continuous or present participle. So I'm learning about that now so that I can teach the students. But what I can do is give a little bit of advice on what people can do inside the classroom and outside the classroom if they would like them and their students to learn to speak more fluently. And so one of the first things is differences between classrooms in the United States and Indonesia. So there's many things that Indonesia does better, but these are the things that I thought that in American schools helped me learn. And so the first is, can everyone understand what I'm saying? Because if not, I want Rito to help. Okay. Because my accent is maybe difficult to understand. The first one that I wanted to talk about is independent learning. And this is because when I came to Indonesia, I noticed that many students will share answers. And it's something that's very common, very difficult to stop. So even though the teacher is in front of the class saying, please don't copy, please don't copy, please, the kids will still copy. And so I will sometimes grade the writing that they do in their books. And so they will come up and give the books to me. And one student will come up and I'll say, okay, this was wrong. Another student will come up and it's the exact same answers. It's wrong again. And sometimes 5 or 6 students will come up with the same copied answer and it's completely wrong. And in America, we have a saying, is that it's the blind leading the blind. You know, none of them know it. And so even if they got it wrong, doing their own work, we think it's important to make sure that you're working by yourself, so independent learning. The second point was to support fellow students. So I had a time in one of my first classes here where I asked for volunteers. So I said, relawan, like I need a volunteer. Nobody in the class volunteered, and so I chose someone and brought them to the front. And what I asked them to do, they got it wrong. which is totally fine because English is very difficult. But all of the fellow students were laughing at him. None of them had volunteered. None of them had known the answer. But they still made fun of their student, and the student was covering her face and didn't want to answer and wanted to go sit down. And so something that I'm working with all three of my co-teachers on is making sure that students support each other and make sure that they understand that it's not okay to make fun of somebody for making a mistake, especially when they don't know the answer either. So it's not fair to make fun of somebody for something that you don't know how to do either. And so that's something we're working on. And number three, it goes off that. It comes from that, which is English is very difficult. I am lucky because I was born into a country where they speak English, and so now I know it naturally. But I tried to learn another language. My foreign language was Spanish. I took it for 10 years, and I had very good teachers. But I still don't know Spanish. Learning English is really, really hard. And if students are obsessed with not making mistakes, or if the teacher is so critical of every mistake that they discourage the students, then they will never learn, because even native speakers will make grammatical mistakes, and they'll make mistakes when they're speaking, and maybe their mom says, this is the correct way to say it. But, so most of you, how many are teachers at SMP? All? Not all. Some are high school, and some elementary school. Those students will be learning English, if they want to, for the next 10 years, the next maybe even 20 years. And the whole way, they have to be comfortable with making not just a few mistakes, but every single day making many mistakes, so that they can build their skills. And it's important that their teachers and their students support them and encourage the things that they're learning instead of always criticizing what they get wrong. Can we please move to the next slide? Not that one. Okay. Sadly, I can't do the interactive portion because our presentation had some issues where I wasn't prepared, and my computer is, I think, different than everybody else's, and so my file didn't work, and I didn't prepare properly, so that's my fault. But, what's going on? Quizlet. Yeah. You think so? You think it works? Okay, so maybe we will be able to do the interactive portion. But I wanted to talk about learning lots of vocabulary. There's almost no way around students having to memorize huge numbers of vocabulary. You just have to know it. And so a large part of learning English is just memorizing, just practicing and practicing and practicing and memorizing vocabulary. And any trick that teachers can find to help their students keep thousands of words in their heads would help. And what I've been working on with all three of my co-teachers is introducing a program that I found very helpful called Quizlet. And we might be trying to pull this up for everyone, and I'm going to see where we are with that. And so what we had was, of course, yes, So just give us a second and we'll see if we can actually get this example up, because I think this is something you can use inside and outside the class. I've used it with Pak Gunter, who is in the back, and with Pak Rito in the class, and students love it. So I think it's something that is worth showing.